Morning, friends. This is MF, and welcome to my channel MF for you. I've got a one special or interesting video today for all of you with interesting informations. But before I start, what I would like to tell you that I really appreciate that of late you guys have started liking my videos and subscribing to my channel, which I really appreciate, and it really helps me feel motivated and sort of it gives a sense of connection between you and me. So that is why it is important for those subscription and likes and comments and further sharing with your friends. So before I begin my video, what I would like to tell you that the video that I'm making or the previous video that I've made, I've not tried to promote any service, any company, agency, any brand, and the video is meant for the information purpose, just to help you guys out with a standard piece of information which is based on my personal experience. So it's like a real time situation information that I'm sharing with you, which is really going to help you out when you see my videos, watch my videos, and when you actually see that what I'm telling you in these videos, that is what actually happens outside. So that is why these videos are important. So it's nothing too technical about I'm just reading through the websites and making these videos. This is not what it is. So this is actually what I've been experiencing and what I've experienced in the past. So that is where it is important. So anyways, so those were the two things, and what I'm talking about is about the traveling tips and hacks. So not exactly hacks, but yes, sort of uh, tips and what you call it. I'm sorry, I'm not getting the right word. Just a guidance. Just let's call it guidance. So some tips and sort of guidance for you, so that how you're supposed to travel and what you should be expecting and anticipating when you travel, and what are the things that you need to consider. So I've broke this video into 5 points. The last one is important, as I as I did that in the last video too. So the important thing, the last. So first, I'll be talking about the mode of transport. What are the different modes of transport that are available here in UK, specifically in London? Then the method of payment. What are the different methods that you can use for paying towards your expenses or towards your fare in different commute, like maybe in bus or train, or taxi. And third point is about the expenses, what you should be expecting. Although I've made a video on the expenses here in UK, but still I would like to brief you about what are the fares during the peak hours or off peak hours. So that's the third point. The fourth point is what are the different applications of the platforms that are available, so as to provide you with the information about the different modes of transport, and maybe about the fare also in advance before you travel. So these applications or platform will help you plan your journey before you actually start. Okay, so this is important too. And last, about which is my favorite, is about the what should be your conduct, that when you're traveling, how you're supposed to behave, how you're supposed to interact, or what are the things that you should be following, in addition to what you see on the signboards, different signboards, wherever or howsoever you're traveling. So there are certain things that I would like to mention or share with you. Coming to the first point, which is about the mode of transport. So when we talk about transport, definitely London, we have got buses here in UK, and we've got London buses here in London too. Apart from that, then we have national rail, the train services, overground, DLR, tubes. Tube, when I say tube, that doesn't mean it is going to run under the ground. It comes over the ground as well, but still they call it tube. And in my country they call it metro. In some other country, maybe US, they call it subway or something. So yes, that is there. Then you have cabs. When you talk about cabs, it includes those platforms, the Uber. Then there's a cheaper version of that, which is Bolt here. It's a bit cheaper when you compare it with Uber. Then you have got London taxis, or taxis in general here in UK. And once you're all settled here, you can opt for electric scooter or bike or bicycle. They are pretty much in use here, interestingly. We have got dedicated lanes for cycles and electric scooters, so you can use it. It's safe. So coming to the second point, which is about the method of payment. So when we talk about method of payment, especially for those of you who would be here initially and would be requiring to pay towards your fare, what you can do, either, I mean, the London doesn't accept in London they don't accept cash anywhere. So you got to use either your Oyster card, the regular one, and in case if you're lucky, you've got your student Oyster card right in the beginning, so you can use your student Oyster card and avail those 30% discount on your travel. And if not that, what you can do, you can use your bank card, the international credit card that you have with you. I mean, which you have bought from your. I believe you must have bought some card from your country. You can use your forex card, neo card, or any bank or debit or credit card with a contactless facility. So you got to bear that in mind, that it has to be contactless. So you can use that card and it will charge you the regular fare, what is whatever it is here. Yeah. So what they incur on your Oyster card or the student Oyster card, it will be same on your forex or neo card or other bank card. So you can use that, so always carry that with you. Then yeah, so you can use cash as well. So cash is mostly accepted method of payment or mode of payment when you're outside London, specifically in buses. So you'll have to carry cash there. And coming to the expenses during the peak and off peak hours, I mean, it's general convention. I need not to tell you, like it certainly varies when you travel during the peak hours and off peak hours. So during the off peak, it's going to be lesser than what you pay during the peak hours, right? So I'll give you an example about the London. For example, 65 pence, £1 is for a single tap in the buses. For buses, there is no peak of peak, so it's going to be the same for you. It's going to be same on the buses. For train, it does vary. For example, what I've experienced or what I've seen. So the minimum payment is going to be 10 pence, £3 for a single journey between the two stations, and that's during the peak hour. So if you're traveling off peak, it can come down anywhere close to 60 pence, £2, or maybe 70 pence, £2. So that's how it varies. If you're traveling during the peak and off peak, you will, I mean, it also depends, like what zone are you covering. So I'm just giving you an idea that it does vary. So you got to be, careful, or you just got to keep this in your mind, whether you're traveling during the peak hours. The peak hours are generally in the morning during the office hours, and during the evening from 4 to 7, I believe. So if you're traveling outside this peak limit, you'll be charged lesser than the regular fare. So that is about the expenses. And should I tell you about the daily cap? Yes, I should be telling you about the daily caps as well. So there's a daily cap, interestingly. So if you're traveling, for example, for the bus, I'll give you an example. For bus, if you have spent close to 90 pence, £4 for that particular day, doesn't matter how long or how far or how you want to travel after that, it's not going to charge you more than that. So same is applicable for trains. For train, the amount varies. It is approximately close to £13, I believe. So if you have spent that much amount on your card, on your Oyster card, and I believe this is applicable when you're using an Oyster card only. That is what I think. So but you really got to check it, if there is a possibility it is applicable on other cards as well. But for Oyster card, certainly, if you have crossed this limit, or you have reached this limit of £13 or £90, 4 pence for bus, you won't be charged anything beyond that. So you want to if you're somebody who likes to travel, you can use that option and just travel as much as you want, wherever you want. So that is about the daily cab. Then coming to the fourth point, which is about the what you call it, the applications of different platforms that are available that you can use. My preference is, and that is what I use, it's Google Maps. So it gives you an option about the buses, trains, cabs, everything. I mean, you just have to navigate. I mean, you just got to keep yourself aware about what are the options that you need to select to see only the bus option, only the train option, or every option that you have available in your region, wherever you live. So that will give you a good idea. It's not accurate all the time, but more majority of time, I mean, it gives you an idea, like how you're supposed to travel, how much time is it going to take, and where is the transit in case there is a transit required. That will, I mean, it gives you all sort of information. I use it, so I don't find any challenge. Then there is a app provided by this Transport for London, and they abbreviated it as TFL. So you can use that app as well to know about the train services here and the other modes of transport that are running in London. Then So if I am talking about these things, so some of the things are applicable outside London, and but majority of things are applicable for London, because that is where I live. So it makes sense. You can definitely consider it for London, but for other parts of the London, you can just get an idea out of what I'm saying. So you really got to explore further, in addition to this video of mine. Then you've got there's a platform called National Rail. For National Rail, it one of the biggest advantage using this app is, if you are so comfortable using this. I'm personally not comfortable using this application, and I'm still not using it for some strange reason. So there's a National Rail. It gives you a real time update about, just in case if there is a mess happening on a particular track. So that is where it will be helpful. It will give you an idea. Okay, so this particular track, this particular train, this particular service is not running. So that is really helpful. That facility is not available with the Google Maps. Google Map is going to show you what is available in general. So nationally it would be there, but since you'll be here and it's all digital world these days, so you would get to know anyhow. So if there is a, for example, there is a train strike or there is a tube strike, which is quite a regular thing here. So you would get to know from different platforms, from news, from other social or other platforms. So still, I mean, even if you're not using National Rail, you're still good. And then there's London Tube, which gives you an idea about what are the different routes available and how far the train is traveling, the tube is traveling. Not train, but tube. This is specifically for tube, so it will give you all the information about the tubes running in the entire London, or maybe in the periphery of London. So London Tube is there. Description of all these platforms I'll be providing in this video. Description of this video. The link I would be providing in the description of this video. Sorry about that. The last point is about the commute, your conduct during the commute. This is a bit interesting, or you might like it or you might not like it, but this is, I really feel, which is important, that I should be sharing it with you. And I've seen that this is a problem actually. So first thing is always about, always remember to tap your card if you are entering or you're exiting. So just in case there are certain stations wherein you just don't see, the this frisking gates are not visible, quite visible. So you might be wondering, I'm good, so you just leave the station. Bear in your mind that if you do that, you might incur penalty on your Oyster card, on your travel card, next time when you travel. It might be close to 80 pounds, I believe. Yeah, it can go up until 80 pounds, and in certain cases there is a prosecution as well. That is what I've seen. So always try to tap your card when entering and when exiting the station. That's important. Then second thing about, always I mean, in buses, you will see, this is quite general, but still I'm telling you, you can request a bus stop. So in case if you think that you have left the bus stop behind, you need not to shout, or you need not to get anxious, asking people, I need to get down from the bus stop which we have just left. So just don't worry. There's a small red button at every supporting handle or supporting bars in the buses. Just press it and it will reflect on the screen that the bus stop has been requested. So you will get down at the next bus stops. You need not to say to anybody. So I've seen people getting anxious when they leave their bus stop. So please use that option for requesting a bus stop in the buses. For certain trains also, you need to press the button to open the gate, and if you are exiting, if you are entering, even then you got to press the button which is there on the door. So you just, I mean, if somebody, I've seen people just standing in front of the gate and expecting the gate would open all by itself, but it doesn't happen. So that's, just look for that. Then when you're using the escalator service, this is interesting. So it's like a unsaid convention. So if you're using the escalator service, you got to, and if you're standing, if you're not moving, you got to stand on your right side, on your right side. Okay. And if you want to walk, so that you leave the left side of the escalator is meant for those who need to, you know reach at the platform or reach the station or the train early. So that left side is meant for those. So you're not supposed to stand in the middle. You've got to stand on the right side if you're not moving. If you're moving, the left side is free for you. So bear that in mind as well. And the last point in this commute conduct is about, you really got to be considerate towards your fellow commuters. Sorry about that. So for example, in case if you're do not find if you do not find any seat which is vacant, so you take the priority seat. But you bear in mind, if you see somebody who really needs that seat, which is priority seat, it is not reserved for any specific person, but it says priority, so it could be a pregnant woman, an elderly people, an elderly person. So you got to assess that. I mean, and before somebody asks you to vacate that seat and you feel embarrassed in front of all the other commuters, it's better either you leave the seat, do not sit on it, or just be wary about your surroundings. So if you see somebody, just offer that seat straight away to them. Okay, so there are altercations and fight happening and has happened in front of me, so I've seen this. So you do check for that. And please, 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 do not talk. Do not talk when you're traveling. It doesn't matter whether you're in bus or tube or train, unless it is an urgency or an emergency that you need to tell something to somebody. If in case if you're running late for your office, you just need to tell your line manager that I'm running late for so and so reason. So that is acceptable. But I've seen people that just keep on talking incessantly. I mean, it feels like this is the last day. This is the last day, and they won't get time after this to talk to the person they are talking to. And sometimes if you're sitting close to that person who is talking on phone, you just feel irritated, annoyed. I mean, you just feel like scratching your ears. And people just don't bother about their fellow commuters. So which is quite a strange thing. I was not expecting this thing from here, but I've seen people, they just talk loud, and they keep on talking, some casual, or just useless stuff. I mean, you just can imagine. So please avoid that. And it's a respect towards your fellow commuters, and it's like it's a sort of a social etiquette as well. It's like your responsibility that you shouldn't become a problem for your surroundings. So that is where it is applicable. So these are the 5 points. Do check for, in case if you're still struggling with something what I've told you in this video verbally. I'll be providing details in the description, so you can just go through the description and see what this video is all about. And please, as I said, it really helps me feel connected with all of you. You really got to subscribe to my channel. Keep asking people that you got to subscribe. This is really going to work out for, especially for those who are coming to UK and those who have come to UK. Um, do that. Like my video, subscribe, and please comment. Keep commenting. Keep asking questions as much as you want, because the information that I'm sharing, it's a real time information. It's a real experience that I'm sharing with you. It's nothing something which is available on the website. So you really got to do it, and you will find it certainly helpful for you, all of you. So please do that. Here I would like to end this video. It is again I try to complete my videos in just 10 to 12 minutes, but I always exceed the limit. Anyways, I'll try my level best. Since I'm not a pro in making these videos, I'll try my level best to keep my videos under 15 or 12 minutes. Please do that, whatever I told you, and best of luck. Stay healthy, happy, and safe. Bye bye.